Hello everybody, welcome back to the Rocks Roost. We are here by the Blackberry patch yet again, and it is time to do some alteration on the electric fence. I needed to do this anyway, and I thought I might as well record it. You might find it interesting. It's getting to be, if we look up to the woods there, you can see it is definitely autumn. And while the grass, as you can see over there in the field, is still green, it won't be long till the deer will be looking for things to pick. Well, they're going to pick my blackberries, so I need to be careful about that. Right now, let me get over here close to it. We've got just a single strand electric fence, nothing too fancy. And if we look at the foliage, you see it's mostly still green, which is very attractive to deer, but deer will eat brown leaves they find in the woods in the wintertime. Here you can see, here's a part, one of the strands, or canes rather, of the blackberry is starting to take on its fall color there. So these blackberries are starting to become a real target for deer. So what we need to do is we need to move the fence back just a little bit farther away from the blackberries. You see it's about 18-20 inches or so away now. I'm going to move it back 8 or 9 inches, something like that, maybe 10 inches, and I'm going to put a second strand on it. So I'll have a strand up high. What I'll do is I'll raise the strand that's there. You see, if you're not familiar with the way electric fences work, this is the type of insulator that, well, you have to have an insulator because otherwise the electricity will go into the pole and just go in the ground, and that's no good. So you use an insulator. This is just plastic. You unscrew it on this side, and then you can slide it up or down on the pole as you wish. If you look here, you can see there it's got some threads. Naturally, I can't hold the phone while I'm doing this, but I wanted to show you sort of the situation we're in right now. This is not going to be a very big job as far as fencing goes. But the first thing we want to do is we want to unhook it. Now right here you see this this copper wire right here. This is where the electricity enters into the system. So we just take it loose. That's all we have to do. So now it's not energized. Now we can touch it. You know, it's not going to bother us now. And so what I'll do starting out is I will take these fence posts up. Some of them are actual electric fence posts. Some of them are just concrete rebar. Like this is a rebar one here. You see, you can tell that because it has those ridges on it. This one down here is a, let's see, no, that one's rebar. I've got 1 or 2 of them are actual fence posts. You know how it is when you go looking, you don't find. Here they are. Here's one that's an actual fence post. The sun is real bright here, so you see how that's just a, slick metal bar. I think it's in focus. I'm not sure. Forgive me if it's not. So what I'll be doing first is pulling these poles loose, pulling them up and setting them back away from the blackberries a little bit. Now you can see they're still growing. I guess I'll show this. Right here, this is a young tip right here. That's still growing. And they'll grow till we get a killing frost, which it'll probably be a while, probably be another month before we get a good killer. Okay, so let's, now that we've unhooked the fence, the electricity from the fence, let's go up here. We'll start up here at this corner we were at. And we'll start taking the wire off of the insulator. Okay, like that. It's just wrapped around there. apologies. That was terrible videography work, Rock. Okay, and as you see, this is kind of a over-under type deal. You take it over there and then under here. Now it's loose. Now it's loose. And we're going to take it and just move it over. Be careful not to let it touch the live wire there. It did a little bit, and I got a little bit of a shock. Okay, so to pull these out of the ground, well, it's pretty unceremonious, really. Let me take my screwdriver over here. I've got my supplies here. I do this one-handed. So I've got some extra wire, several bundles of extra wire. I've got some insulators. Here you can see kind of an up close view. Come on, focus. There you go. Of what these insulators look like. Okay, you got a bunch of them and some pliers. For a job like this, I'm not going to need fencing pliers. These pliers will be fine. I got a pair of slip joints and a pair of electrical pliers there. We call these side cutters, or dikes, they're also called. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can pull up a post. Let's see if we can do it one-handed. Let's go over here. Come on, it's too bright. There you go. So, you know, there's really not much to this. You just kind of wiggle it around and pull it up out of the ground like that. And so I'm going to set it out. Let's see, it was right there. You see the hole. I'm going to move it back right about here. That's about 18 inches back. Do I really need to move it that far back? Probably. I also need to move it away from that pole some. This is probably about right here, I'd say. Yeah, so let me get my hammer. Just kind of jab it in the ground there. Now we just get us a hammer. I leave this down here. This is a homemade hammer. And we just bang it in. Now make sure you don't have your watch on when you do things like this, because it vibrates quite a bit. See, one-handed it's not going to be very effective. So you just bang it in there. Let's go down a few more inches. Watch out, buddy. You see, as it goes down into the earth, it gets a bit more sturdy. Now, we got it a little crooked, but that's okay. That's no big deal. So I'm just going to repeat that process several times, and then I'll get back with you in just a minute. I'll see you then. Okay, I've got all my poles moved back. You can probably see them there. Now what we have to do is, this is going to be kind of a short clip here. Now here's the wire. I need to take all this wire up, and well, I don't have to take it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, just to give you an idea, I will move it over to this pole. Now, of course, I'm going to need a little bit more wire because we're enclosing a larger area, okay? That's why I have more wire. I'm also, you see these old caution tapes. I'm going to take my pocket knife here. Now, opening this is not going to be easy with the phone. Let's see. Can we do it? I can get that sheep foot open. Yeah, that'll be good. So you take your pocket knife, and I'm going to cut these off, okay, and remove all these. So let's take this here and see if we can't get it loose. This is pretty unceremonious, you know. You stick your knife in there and don't cut your fingers. Huh. I accidentally stopped the video, but yeah, we successfully cut it off. And this is plastic, so don't let this float around in the environment. Pick that up. Make sure you pick that up. Okay. Don't want this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up the wire and get it restrung around the fence. And I'll be back with you. One thing I want to say, anytime you're working with electric fence wire or just, you know, wire in general, if I can get it to focus, you'd think, come on. I tell you, yeah, these ends are sharp, so always maintain control of the tip of the wire. Always know where that is at all times. If you're not used to working with wire, a good thing to do would be to turn that over with a needle nose plier and make a blunt end out of it. That way if it goes flying, at least it'll come flying at you with a blunt end instead of a sharp point. But I'm used to this. So that being said, you still want to maintain control of the tip. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take it, we're just going to stick it right down in there and bend it down like that. All right, now that's going to maintain control of the tip. And I want you to always do that. If you're going to do electric fencing, that is one of the cardinal rules. Oh, other thing is, if you're not qualified to work with electricity, you should get somebody to help you that is. If you're getting your electricity from something other than a fence charger, you know. Fence chargers, you can buy them at Tractor Supply or your local farmer's co-op, like Southern States. That's where I got mine, at Southern States Co-op. But you can find them pretty much anywhere rural supplies are sold, and you usually just plug them into the wall, and then you can run your wires straight from that. But if you're out here, you know, in the middle of nowhere, you'll want to make sure you've got a wire run. And see, here I have, this is my supply. It goes over to a pole by the garden because we use electric fence at the garden. And then it goes over to the barn where I have a normal mains in there. And there's a Edison fuse box inside there. Okay, so anyway, maintain control of the tip. That's what she said, right? But seriously, that is important. So I just wanted to throw that in. I'm going to go back to restringing this wire. I'll do the first circuit around, and then I'll show you how that works. But let me go ahead and do it first. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's the, we're going to put the wire on this insulator. So the first thing we want to do, we got a lot of real estate on this pole up high. We twist it, loosen him up. Well, we hope that didn't happen. Hold on. Yeah, okay. We didn't really want to take him apart. We just wanted to loosen him enough. And then you just tighten him back up. Just twist it. Do not over tighten these things. There is such a thing, okay? You'll spring them. And these things are not cheap. So, you know, don't over tighten. It's tempting to do that. Then once you get your insulator where you want it, you take your wire like this, and you got this little, sorry, I know that juggled you a little bit, this over-under thing here. You stick him in there like that, pull him along, and then we go down to the next pole. So let's see what kind of shape we're in down there. I got a leaf pile here. That is going to go on the blackberries for when winter finally comes. It helped protect the roots from frost. Oh, there's a big pile here, and I've got a big pile over there. Those came from that maple tree there in the front yard that's almost bare. You can see it right in the middle of the frame there. By the way, look at these little peppers. These are Thai peppers, T-H-A-I, like Thailand. Extremely hot. They're an ornamental. I grew them this year for the first time. You know, they're mostly for ornamental, but you can't eat them. The seed pack said they eat them in Thailand, which I certainly believe. There's a yellow jacket flying around here. Because they're hot enough. I may have shown you these before in another video, but in case you haven't seen that video, here they are. They look like Christmas lights, kind of. Isn't that neat? Real shiny. So, hot peppers here in the Rocks Roost. I like cayenne peppers. These are a little too hot for my liking, but I'm probably going to try some in soup beans later. See if they're any good. Y'all like soup beans and cornbread? We eat that a lot around here. Pinto beans cooked with hog fat or onions and butter, and cornbread. If you get you one of them cornbread skillets that has the little divisions, so everybody gets a little corner piece, those are good. That's the best way to do your cornbread. Anyhow, I'm getting off topic. You could use those hot peppers there and make you a Mexican type cornbread. So I've got my wire here, and I'm just bringing it on down. Careful here, there is a junction, so you don't want to prick yourself. And for now, we'll just stick him, get you down here where you can see it. We'll just stick him in there like that. This is a different kind of insulator, but it's the same kind, it's just a different color. Yellow, black, and red are the most common colors you'll see. I don't like the black ones as much. That's just an old one we've had. This is an old brand called Red Snapper. Anybody that's done a lot of fencing will probably recognize that brand, Red Snapper. And they were yellow or I'm sorry, black or red mostly you could pick from. When I was coming up, I don't remember there being any yellow ones. That's something that's come along later. But I liked the red ones because you could see them a little bit better. And if you see, you look here at this black one, it kind of blends in. But look over here, there's a yellow one on that pole. Even in the shadows, you can see it better. And if you look up through there, you see the yellow ones. It's pretty obvious. So that helps clue you in that, hey, there's a fence there. You know, don't stumble in and electrify yourself. Anyhow, I'm going to continue going around just like this, and I'll see you in a little bit. I'm probably going to raise this a little bit too, just a little bit. You want it kind of high so that if the deer comes and tries to stick his neck over in there, he'll rub his goozle against that and it'll shock him or her. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I got my wire all the way around, and guess what? I had a lot of extra length tied up in this wire, but even so, here's my end, and there's my other post. So we're not hardly going to make it. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. It's real simple. You just take you a shorter piece, which I happen to have right here, and you just twist it onto the end. So you take this here. I doubt I can do this. Yeah, actually do the twisting, you know, with one hand. Oops, finger. But, you know, you just twist the two ends together. You get the idea. You just twist them together, and then you'll have however much extra. So I'll do that, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, now I got my piece twisted together. You can see this, you know, it doesn't have to be fancy or anything. Just so it stays and you don't have any wild ends coming out. Now I've got to move this strand down to the bottom because I want two strands. So I did this one on the top, so it's just easier to get to. Now that I've got it strung around, I'm just going to go around to each insulator and move it down. So I'll see you in a little bit once I've done that. Okay, now I have the lower strand run all the way around. You can't see it on that side. All the way around. Move my leaf pile so it doesn't touch. Don't want it grounding out. Now I need to go around and put insulators on the top. Now one of the things you want to keep in mind when you go around the corner, and indeed anytime you're running a fence, this is being stubborn, you want the wire generally to be on the outside of whatever it is you're fencing, so you turn the insulator like that, you see. So these, they come in two parts. you stick it down over the thing and then tighten it till you kind of see how it works. Like that. So I'll be going around and putting insulators on the top and then running another strand around the top and we'll be done. See you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I have the top strand and the bottom strand run around. You can see here. You might be able to see. I hope you can. There's one strand here. There's another strand down there. If I look this way, you might see them glistening in the sun. You see that? I'll jiggle them a little bit so you see there? One on the top, one on the bottom. But now, if I were to just go over here and hook it up to the electricity, you see, it's only going to go in the top or the bottom, depending on which one I hook. So I need a bridge between the two to close the circuit between them. So that just takes a piece of wire that you'd twist around here and then twist around down there, and that calls it good. Okay, so that's all you need to do. So I'm going to find another piece. I don't think I have another one laying around here. No, all my wire was there. I don't see any more. So I'll go find a piece and we'll string it up. I'll be back in a few minutes. Well, for you it'll be instantly, but for me, who knows how long it'll be because I have to dig through all my stuff. Okay, we're back. I have both strands on, and like I said, I've now connected them. This is hard to see this. I can't see it hardly at all, but I'm assuming that you can. Right here you can see where I've twisted a piece on, and I'll follow it down with my finger here. This is how I connected them. You see, and it just goes down there, and that just carries the current down to the bottom strand. And I think I've got the height where I want it now. So if a deer tries to stick his head or her head under, they'll get shocked. If they go in the middle here, their shoulders will hit this, or their brisket or throat will hit that. If they try to go over, their shoulders, or not shoulder, their throat will hit right here, or their chest. So I think this is pretty good. Plus, if the dogs decide they might want to get in there and dig, I think they'll end up getting a little taste of it too. So it should be pretty good. Now, all that's left to do now is hook it up. So here is our live wire. Just bring it over and touch it to it, and that's it. You know, no big fanfare or anything. So now we're protected. Let me walk around to make sure the insulators are all not touching the post. Well, the insulators touch the post, but you want the wire away from the post. Sometimes when you're jiggling with the wire, the insulators can move on you. Okay, that looks good there and there. I'm going to walk around my leaf pile here. Now I moved my leaves, you'll see here. You'll see there I kicked them out from under the fence. So why did I do that? Well, because they could ground the fence out. When they're dry, they probably won't, but they might be wet in the morning. Probably will be if there's dew or frost. So we're good there. We're good down there. Again, you just don't want your wire touching the pole. It'll ground it out and it won't shock anything. There we go. We're good there. And we don't stumble and fall into it. That's important. Good there and there. Okay. One more pole. Need to check it. All right. We're okay there. There's a little bug. If it'll focus, I don't know if I can get it to focus on the bug or not. Do you see the little bug on the insulator? And we're good down there. Okay, well that's got the blackberries protected from the deer, I think. The only way to know for sure is to wait and see. But that's it for now. Make sure to like the video, comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, one more thing that is important. I went back around. I didn't mention this before, but this is kind of important. And tied some of this high-vis tape on here, you see, Some on the top strand, some on the bottom strand there. That's so if any drunks stumble through here at night, they won't get, hopefully won't get tangled up in it. We're, well, you know, you never know who might stumble through. Now somebody's going to come and rob berries. I really couldn't give two craps whether they get in it or not, but you never know. The drunks might stumble through, or there are some kids down the road. I've never seen them up here prowling around, but you never know. The kids are real bad not to pay attention to where they're going. So if you put up a fence like this, you definitely want to put some markers on it so that people can see it. This is not enough current to really hurt you, but it's enough to know when you got in it. There won't be any mistake in it. So that's it then. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.